Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc. Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. As you know, we cover collections. I have a collection of stuff myself. Love collecting old toys. I got my corgi stuff all set up here and I'm having fun looking at it. But you know what? I've got a friend who has a bigger collection of bigger cars. I'm going to go visit my friend Ivan, who's got one of the bigger scrapyards of classic cars around. We visited him probably about 6 years ago or so now, really long time ago. We're going to go back and see what's changed at his yard. So let's go do a scrapyard tour with my friend Ivan and see what cool stuff is pulled into his yard. Let's go. I am almost here. It was pouring rain this morning. Thank goodness. We've had forest fires like crazy around here, so we needed the rain. Oddly though, I'm kind of hoping it didn't rain at Ivan's place because it'll probably make a big muddy mess. So far, it looks fairly dry here. I guess I'll find out when I pull in. We should be there any minute. Well, I have arrived. You can tell from all the trucks lining the front driveway. I hear the sounds of heavy equipment being used, and that must be Ivan over there. Let's go find out. Gosh, it's such a cool place out here, and it's always fun to see you. Hey, Ivan, how's it going?
Good, Alex. How are you?
Good. It's been a few years since, I guess it's been 5 years since I was here last.
Yeah, probably.
And I think almost everything has changed. Just
yeah,
about.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so you've been keeping busy.
We have been, yeah.
And finding lots of treasures.
Still looking every day.
Oh, I bet. You know, you always find the coolest stuff, and it's hard for me not to keep my eye on, you know, you've got gas pumps and old trucks and motorcycles and signs. All the stuff that I like.
Yeah.
You've got it all over the place. But I guess we're gonna do a little tour of the cars and then we'll chat a bit about some of the antiques and the other stuff going on. But
sure,
are we okay to walk back and have a look?
For sure, let's go. Yeah.
And you got your Chevy or Pontiac sitting out there, 58.
Pontiac Parisienne.
Oh, didn't you have one kind of similar to that before?
Yeah, I had a two-tone green one, I think, when you were here last time, and I sold it. I've had a couple since then, but I just picked this one up about a month ago, and it's a really decent car. It's a factory six-cylinder automatic.
Six-cylinder.
Yeah.
I know it's a Pontiac, and in American Graffiti it was a Chevy,
yeah,
but it was white like this though.
It was, yeah, very similar.
And this is the one that Ron Howard's character let the toad drive around in. Was something like this car would fit in perfectly in American Graffiti, if not for the fact it's a Pontiac. But
at first I didn't really like the white, but it's actually grown on me. I like the pure white. It looks good.
It's different.
Yeah, it is.
It's totally putting off American Graffiti vibes. It looks like it's in really good shape.
Oh, the interior is original interior in this car.
So are you driving this car?
I was driving it, and I actually just blew the motor in it a couple of days ago.
Oh no! Well, judging from what you have around, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a motor kicking around.
For it, yeah.
So what happened? You were just driving it, and
yeah, six-cylinder, and we were going to the Chipman car show, and it just gave up about 5 kilometers from Chipman.
Like blowing smoke and the whole deal.
No, it didn't. It just kind of went pop, and you know, the distributor's not turning, so I don't know if the camshaft broke or the distributor. Could be the cam gear, so it could be an easy fix, but I wanted to put a V8 in it anyway, so
okay.
It's kind of suiting that it did happen.
Well, it looks like a great base, a great car.
Oh yeah, I put it on the hoist. There's no rust underneath.
No, it looks super solid. Yeah. Gosh, the buildings are looking great. You got an old motorcycle sitting out here too.
Yeah, that's an old James. Yep. It's got a BSA tank on it. I never had a tank.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But it's probably in the 40s, early 50s James.
Yeah, that's unusual. I mean, it's yard art.
Yeah, that's what we use it for. There's another James over here that I bought at a yard sale.
Oh, I see it down there.
A little older one.
Gosh, you've got all stacks of cool hubcaps here.
Yeah.
air cleaners, lots of oil cans. No surprise there. I heard that did you sell off your impressive collection of antifreeze
I
tins?
sold everything. Yeah, a guy come here and he bought every oil can I had. I had, I think, 800 oil cans, and he bought them all.
Wow.
And he bought a bunch of signs, but if you come in the shop, that was only about a little over a year ago, and
You've filled it back up
filled
again?
it back up since then, yeah. So it's been fun just kind of replenishing.
And you do a good job to find your stuff all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Out in the wild.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is when I go buy old cars, you know, there's old barns and buildings there, so I usually ask if I can have a look around, and that's where I get most of my stuff, really.
Wow, good on you.
Yeah.
Bringing the stuff back out.
Yeah.
What are we looking at? What year is the Chev?
This is a 37.
37.
37 Chevy, yeah.
Do you ever try and turn these things over and see if they move or run,
I
or?
never tried with this one. It's got the motor and everything still in it.
Right.
And we have a 38 over there, and it's somebody put a newer front end and stuff.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I'm gonna put a motor and stuff in that one. We use that one for photography in the wintertime. Well, a lot of you know, just family photos and stuff. She uses that one for.
Right.
So I'm probably gonna steal a couple of parts off of this one, you know, that will fit on it, and then I'll probably resell this one.
Well, I'm sure anybody would want to turn this into either restore it or make it into a hot rod, or.
Yeah, usually when you find these trucks like this, you just find the cab sitting in the field somewhere, but
It's all there.
yeah, it's not too often you find it with the box and
Side mount. Would that have been tire mount?
that would have been for the tire, and probably handmade. You know, somebody made it for.
Yeah, it's weird. It's got the 2 bolts for the. So I guess, yeah, it sits around there and you bolt it on.
Yeah, it would have stuck to it.
Yeah, that looks like a farmer job.
Yeah, it probably is. For sure.
Wow, look at this field of dreams here.
There's a couple of 58 Impala. These are 58 Pontiac Parisians here. There's 2 of them.
Okay.
Project cars. One's kind of a parts car. This one's a parts car, and then there's another one sitting back there, a blue one. And they pretty well got everything for it.
You know, not an easy body style to find, and you've got several of them sitting here.
Yeah, they only made about 2,200 Parisians total, and they're very similar to an American Bonneville.
Right.
The Bonneville's a little bit longer car, but the Canadian Pontiacs were built on the same frame, an X frame as an Impala. You know, it was a Chevy drivetrain, whereas the Yankee cars were a little different motors and different frames.
I don't want to alarm you, but you might have a little bit of rust in the floors here.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But it looks like this one's been parted out pretty good. You got
it's
the
been
dash
parted
out.
Yeah.
So just hanging on to it until. But if a person needs like that stainless trim,
Exactly.
that's why you keep these cars around, because some of this stuff
Parts cars are the gold, really. When you're fixing a car, the parts cars are, you know, you always need parts, so it's nice to have 1 or 2 of everything to choose from, you know. This car here is a 54 Chevy sedan delivery.
Oh yeah.
It's actually the guy, he bought it from Texas, and he's coming up. He left today, actually, and he should be here in a couple of days.
So somebody in Texas bought this car.
A guy from Baytown, Texas bought this, and he's driving all the way up from there to pick it up.
But just can't find them down there, I
That's what
guess.
he said, yeah, and for the price, I guess he thought it was a great deal, so...
Well, American Dollar goes a lot
yeah,
farther.
it does, and I mean, it's a running car. It actually runs and drives, so...
What is your website, by the way?
It's ivangies.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll put a link in here as well. We'll put that up a couple times.
It's Ivangies. My name's Ivan. My wife's name's Angie, so both names kind of spell right into each other. A lot of people ask where we came up with the name, but it's
There you go.
yeah, kind of unique.
So, and you'll post pictures of the stuff you got for sale up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a rare little car here. This is a, well, not saying that's rare, but they're hard to come by. It's a little 33 Dodge.
Oh yeah.
Window coupe.
Did this come out of Jerry's yard?
No, this one here came out of Saskatchewan, actually.
It looks like it had been on fire at one
Yeah,
point
It
almost.
was probably in a grass fire, but suicide doors, which is pretty cool.
Yep, suicide
They
doors.
look like they're chopped right from the factory. They got only about an 8-inch windshield.
Yeah, it's a low roof line on
Yeah.
this.
So I got a couple of parts cars. I have a frame. I have all the fenders, the grill. I pretty well have everything for it. So it'd be a neat little hot rod for sure.
So you look at this, see somebody with a farm probably has this in the field and they go, oh, there's just a junky old part of a car there. You look at it and you see a finished hot rod
Oh yeah, I see them all done for sure.
rolling down the road. Everything's got potential. And honestly, for a hot rod builder, that's a great base, you know?
It is.
Not a lot of work to be done.
And there's no wood in them. They're all steel, so that's why they're a lot easier to do than the Ford or Chevys.
Oh gosh, so I had a I had an old British car, Daimler limousine, and it was almost all wood, and I gave up on it because it was, we started to have a little bit of wood rot right here in the pillar, and it was aluminum skin over top, and while that wood was starting to rot a bit, you'd have to peel all the body off to get to it, and just too much work.
I had a little 32 Chevy coupe, and I just sold it here about a month ago, but I had a hard time selling it because, and it was a complete little car, but full of wood, and a lot of people are really scared of the wood. They'd rather, you know, have bad metal than bad wood.
Right.
You know. So.
Oh yeah, you can weld and whatever.
Yeah, you can make the pieces, but woodwork is, you know, and they don't sell the kits really anymore for them. So.
No, and I mean they were never thinking people 100 years from now would be driving or trying to drive that same thing. You know, it was meant for that year or the next 5 years. This reminds me of the car they use in the Dick Tracy movies.
Yeah.
What, that was a Ford, I think, wasn't it, that they had in the...
Ford, yeah.
But
This is a Plymouth or a Dodge 37, 38.
Great body lines on this, though.
They would make good for a hot rod, like open fendered car or something.
It looks like you were moving it around.
Yeah, just trying to find a place. As you can see, I'm pretty filled up here.
Oh, yeah, you've got a few... this is why we came, because it's always exciting to walk around here with you.
There's another 38. That 38 Plymouth actually came out of, you know, Mike Hull.
Okay, yeah.
He had that auction last year, and I bought that down there.
Oh, that Plymouth. So that came out of the Rust Brothers.
Rust Brothers, yeah.
That TV show.
Yeah, I bought two cars. This one, and I got a 66 Beaumont 4-speed car in the back that came out of there.
Actually, his stuff was selling for reasonable prices.
Very reasonable.
I was surprised.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was, a lot of it was kind of on the cheaper end
Some
of
of
things.
the Mopar high, you know, muscle car stuff went for a little more.
But he, like you, saw the potential in that car.
Yeah,
but
Mike sees the potential and everything. Kind of, he's got the same diseases I got, I think.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I would say so.
This is a 30 or a 46 Fargo here.
The truck?
Yeah, the green or the blue one.
Okay.
I got a guy coming tomorrow to look at it. They're looking for a project to do. So
Well,
this here is probably the only car I've ever seen in my life. They only made 420 of these cars. It's a 58 Pontiac sedan delivery. And I've seen them online before, but I've never actually ever seen one.
And now you have one.
I got it from a guy down in Calgary, and
complete with authentic bullet holes.
Yeah, real bullet holes.
Wow, somebody was doing target practice at this, and it looked like in the 70s they probably put one of those, you know, windows you put in a van.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They cut windows in it, but it's rusty. But you know what? It still is restorable.
Oh, sure. I mean, anything is fixable, and like you said,
cool car being a sedan delivery.
Very rare. Makes you wonder what they had on the roof rack, or if a contractor was using it for a while, or...
You were talking about American Graffiti, 58 Impala. That's what this is right here.
Oh, right next to us.
That's a 58 Impala.
58 Impala, two-door hardtop. That is the American Graffiti
That's it,
car.
yeah.
What did they do to the hood on that thing?
Oh, they put a big scoop on there. I owned that car probably 25 years ago, and I just got it back here about 2 months ago.
What kind of shape was it in when you had it 25 years ago?
It was almost exactly the way it is right now.
Oh, so it
looks just exactly the same, and I couldn't believe it. And my daughter,
no better, no worse.
No, my daughter pulled up some pictures of when I built the shop, and that's 15, 20 years ago, and this car was parked in front. And
now you got it back.
It was neat to find it back, and it's missing a lot of parts, but I've actually relocated all the parts, and I got pretty well everything for the car. So it's
valuable car when it's fixed up too.
Oh yeah, I got nice fenders, nice hood for it. I got all the chrome, so it's definitely restorable.
Wow, yeah, Oldsmobiles back there.
Yeah, some 57 Oldsmobiles. I got, I think, 5 two-door hardtops. There's a 35 Ford there.
Okay, yeah, at the back.
A little 4-door, and then a 66 Chevy 4x4.
It's surprising me that the trucks have really taken off the last couple of years.
They have, yeah. Especially, like square body trucks are very popular now, seem to be. And the old body style, they call them OBS. Those trucks, which it's hard to believe they're collectible, but people
are into them.
Yeah.
You know, of all the old cars I have, which is nothing compared to what you have, people stop me and ask me to buy my old Ford truck like every time I take it out. But you've got some square bodies here.
Yeah, and they're all 4-wheel drive. This is a 55 Bel Air 2-door hardtop. Good project.
Oh, yeah.
This car is very rare also. This is a 56 Pontiac sedan delivery, which, see, in the States, they stopped building sedan deliveries in 1952, I think. And they only built them in Canada, so...
We had more of a demand for it, I guess?
Yeah, so, I mean, there wasn't big numbers on them. That's a 55 Chevy sedan delivery behind it. And really, the 55, 56 Pontiac was built the same platform. Everything's the same. They even had the same tail lights pretty well. And the trunk lid and stuff like that.
And it looks like a lot of the tricky stuff to find that's specific to this is here. Like it's got the handle and
latch and stuff. Yeah.
Hey, and it's got a whole bunch of bottles in the back.
Yeah.
Somebody had a party with their stubby beer bottles in here before they trashed it.
Well, a 35 Chev here.
35 Chevy.
35 Chevy. These are parts cars for that little 33 Dodge.
More bullet holes.
Yeah, more bullet holes.
That one full on looks like a gangster car.
Yeah.
And they seem right at home with all your old log buildings and the trees and
yeah.
I like going for nature walks, Ivan, but this is more fun because it's a nature walk with old cars to look at. You should probably just charge admission to go for a nature walk back here.
I'll have to get you to pay your due here before you leave.
That's right.
That's what I tell people. If you want to pay $5, it's okay.
Yeah, go for a walk.
That's a Yankee car here, Bonneville.
Oh yeah.
Big long car, 60 Pontiac Bonneville.
Look at the length of this thing.
Yeah, it's a monster.
I mean, you could probably put an entire 8-foot dining room table in this trunk.
You could put a moose in there if you shot him.
You could put a moose in there if you didn't shoot him.
Maybe he went through the back window. Actually, I started parting it out, but it's kind of too far gone.
I actually quite like these early 60s cars, like late 50s, early 60s, that have very thin pillars, that bubble sort of look.
Bubble top look. Yeah.
Bubble top.
60 was kind of the 59, 60 kind of were the first year of that look.
I had a 62 Buick in high school that was a bubble top, and it was so nice to look out the windows. You had such good field of vision.
Yeah, for sure.
I quite like that car.
And the nice thing about the Pontiacs, all the glass and stuff is interchangeable with a Chevy. You know, a 60 Chev, it's all the same stuff.
Can you get a rear glass for this?
Back window? You know what? I'm not sure if you can buy one new, and that's why a friend of mine had a 60 Impala with a broken back window, and I sold him the
Oh, so you sold the window out of this?
Window, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, she looks a little bit far gone maybe with the rust, but yeah, lots of good parts on it.
Yeah. This is a little 40 Chev, two-door sedan.
Yeah, you've got a good eye, you always do, for finding the rare stuff, like the sedan deliveries, the two-doors. That's the stuff that's always hot, right?
Yeah, yeah. This car's got a Mustang 2 front end in it, and it's actually a really nice, solid car.
So somebody was starting to hot rod it, and then...
A friend of mine, he had passed away, and I bought it from his wife, and yeah, he had planned on doing it, obviously, and I picked up another complete car, the same.
Yeah.
It's out in the back here, for a parts car for just bits and pieces, so...
But it looks very solid, to your point.
Yeah,
Probably original paint, hey?
Oh, yeah.
What's left of it. I mean, original paint. It's only got a little bit of paint on the door, but
Yeah.
it's a paint that was put there.
And this is the coupe here, a little 40 Chev coupe.
Nice looking car.
Yeah.
And lots of, it looks like Chevy doors.
Chevy truck doors.
Like C10.
Yep, C10, yeah.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah. Hanging all there.
This one looks like it might need a little bit of work to get it back on the road. Just grab me that quick start. We'll get her going.
Yeah, she was in a bit of an accident, that one, but I sold a lot of stuff off it over the years.
Well, that's the thing, you look at it and go, it's just a pile of scrap metal, but then some things like even door hinges or whatever, there's always something.
Yeah. Looks like we're gonna get some rain.
We are getting some rain. I was just saying it was pouring on the way out here and it wasn't raining when we came.
Lots of hoods for sale.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
All the hoods.
A hood for every car.
Hey, you got a Volkswagen
There's Volkswagen there.
with turbine wheels on it.
Yeah.
It's like you just need to paint it generally orange. Kelly supercharger tires. That was somebody's little hot bug at one point.
Yeah.
Or at least it looked like it. Probably not any faster than any regular Volkswagen, but... Did you ever check the engine of that, see if it had a performance stuff on it, or?
No, I never did. There's no motor in it.
Oh, there's no motor in it.
There was a motor in it when I got it, and I sold the motor to a guy. We were using it for photos, and it's just gotten so rusty that we were scared somebody might cut themselves kind of leaning against it, so
Right.
kind of set it back here for now.
Yeah, and you're talking about the pictures, and we'll go back there, but Ivan has set up kind of like a little western town there, and people come out and do photo shoots out here. You've had music videos shot out here.
Yeah, we probably had 20 or 30 music videos, and they did a movie scene at the Fringe there. They did a movie scene, and we had some weddings out here, and
Yeah, I always see the pictures look fantastic.
yeah, wedding photos and Christmas photos and stuff. We have an old Santa sleigh, and
It's the front end off an Apache truck.
yeah, 60 Pontiac, 67 GMC.
Gosh, I should introduce you to my mother-in-law's boyfriend. He's a Chevy guy, and he also has a field of cars.
What is it?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's not far.
Right on.
He's got all kinds of stuff like this.
It's a a 58 Delray.
Oh yeah.
Two-door sedan.
Actually, the rockers don't even look that bad on it.
That car is actually not bad at all. It could be done. 58 Buick.
So how long will you let a car sit before you decide it's time for it to go?
Oh, you know what? I hate letting them go. I mean, they almost have to be parted right out before I let them go. I crushed 12 cars last year, and it was the hardest thing I had to do.
Right.
But I'm running out of room, and
You got to pick and choose.
yeah, you got to pick and choose a bit. I still need to haul probably another dozen in. Most of this stuff back here, a lot of 50s cars.
Yeah, well, I see. Oh, that would have been a nice wagon. That
Yeah.
Caballero style wagon
Yeah,
over there.
that's actually a 57 Oldsmobile Fiesta wagon. I have
Fiesta.
4 of them, actually.
Those are so cool.
They're 4-door hardtop station wagons, and they are very cool looking.
Very cool. I remember we went out to the fellow not far from you here, Aeroteaks or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
He
right.
had one of those very complete in the
He
field.
does, and it's still there.
And I wanted to buy it off him, and they wouldn't sell it.
Yeah, old Vic passed away last almost 2 years
I
ago.
heard that.
Yeah.
Very nice man.
Oh, he was.
And they had fields of like 68 Chargers and all kinds of stuff
Yeah,
out there.
all kinds of stuff.
If anybody's watching, you can go back through my playlist of Scrapyard Tours and see that in there. It was quite a fun walkthrough.
This is a factory 4-speed car here, 67 Beaumont. It's from Ontario, so it's as you can see, it's
Pulled out of Lake Superior.
yeah, it's rusted hard. But I have another body here, another 67. It's a 4-speed car also.
Right, but to some people, even just having Beaumont
Yeah.
is what, the Chevelle of Canada?
Yeah, kind of in between the Chevelle and GTO. You know, it's kind of half GTO, kind of half Chevelle, but it was its own entity, Beaumont. It didn't say Chevrolet or Pontiac, and a lot of people argue and think it's a Pontiac, and a lot of people think it's made by Chevrolet, but Beaumont was its own, kind of like an Acadian, you know.
Right, it's his own deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had a Frontenac, and that was kind of its own thing
Yeah,
too for
yeah.
a while. Well, nice old Pontiac. You know, 55, 6, 7 Chevys always seem to hold a lot of value, but back in the day, the Pontiac would have been a fancier car,
they were
right?
way fancy. Buick and Pontiac.
Much
and
more
Oldsmobiles,
trim.
Oh, they were way nicer than Chevy. Chevy was a poor man's car, kind of.
Yeah,
You know, it was the cheapest car to buy, where the Pontiac and Buick and Oldsmobiles and Cadillacs were obviously a little more high-end car.
and yet they didn't keep their value quite like the Chevys did.
Oh, that's for sure.
But that's the value of nostalgia.
Yeah.
58 Chev?
58 Chevy, yeah. I got lots of those for parts cars.
I see you got piles of them back here.
Yeah.
That looks like a... What the heck is that? Like a Packard or something?
That's an Oldsmobile.
Oh, it's an Olds.
57 Olds 98.
98. Oh, I should have seen the 98 on the back. It's so,
Hardtop.
you know, hard sometimes when a car is partly dismantled to recognize exactly what it is.
It's like that one. It'd be pretty hard to tell what it is.
Was it like a
That's
59 Chev or
No,
something?
59 Pontiac.
50. Well, I was in the right era.
You got the right ear.
But that's not bad. I could tell that was a 59 GM,
Yeah.
at least anyway. I'll learn. I just got to hang out with guys like you more, and then I'll get the tools of the trade down.
Yeah.
That Buick in the rain. Take the picture now and put it up for sale while it's
Yeah.
wet, Ivan. It looks good.
I just picked that up last week, actually, and it's a 4-door hardtop, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it doesn't look all that bad,
You
really.
don't see many 4-door hardtops, but it's rusted.
Was it a Roadmaster? It's got 4
No,
portholes.
Century.
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 Where was Century in the line? Was it above or below
I
Roadmaster?
think Roadmaster was the top of the line, but these
Century's
things have
up there.
Look at the air cleaner on this thing. It's got a pretty cool air cleaner.
Oh, whoa. It looks like a
It
cannon.
looks like a machine gun. You know?
Yeah, it looks like it's pointed at me. I'm going to stand out of the way in case it shoots. Did
But the motor still turns over in it, old flathead.
you put a battery in
Or
this thing?
nailhead, they call them. Nailhead 322, I think.
Gosh, I know. The aftermarket thing people did in the 50s and 60s was they would add portholes to any car to try and make it look fancy.
Yeah, a lot of people stole them off of Buicks.
Yeah,
Put them on there.
you'd see like a Ford and somebody would screw fake portholes on the side of it to try and make it look like a expensive car.
Yeah.
That was a status symbol at one point. So 4 portholes was a big deal. And it's a 4-door hardtop. Yeah, I've always liked the look of the old Buicks.
Oh yeah, they're cool.
Two-tone paint, lots of chrome.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the rarest car sitting in this back part of the yard here?
Oh. I mean, there's a 55 Chevy 2-door wagon.
Yeah, that's a pretty good car.
It's a little far gone, but a pretty cool little car.
Yeah, that we're talking about that car right there.
Yeah.
55 Chev 2-door wagon.
This car here is pretty neat. This is a 40 Chev, two-door sedan, the same as the one we were just looking at.
Yeah,
But
okay.
if you go look at the steering wheel, it has a built-in spinner right in the steering wheel.
Oh, you're calling like the suicide.
Well, it's not suicide. It's built right into it. It was an option.
Okay, I'm going to wiggle my way through here.
Just kind of see if you can get a shot at the steering wheel there.
Oh, look at that. So the steering wheel, you could grab that center part and it actually spun and rotate? Wow, that's so cool. I've never seen a steering wheel like that. You got to think that if that steering wheel was restored, look, I picked up spider webs on my camera as I was in there. If that steering wheel alone was restored, it's got to be worth a pile of money.
It'd be worth a fortune, yeah.
You should take it off and send it into the steering wheel guy and get him to fix it up for you.
It'd be, and then with a bumper guard, like a grill guard like that, I've never seen that on a 40 Chev either.
Somebody added some
different
weird
options to it.
options. And it's a two-door.
Yeah.
Wow. All
Pretty
kinds of
fast car.
neat, cool stuff. This one had the roof cut off it.
This is actually the same car. It's a 40 Chev two-door sedan that I used it for parts, and I hate to get rid of it because there's still a good frame under it, you know.
Right, it might come in handy. And you know, somebody who needs the rims or whatever, like there's always...
Yeah. There's an old Christine car sitting in the trees there.
Oh, what was that, 57 Plymouth?
58,
Or 58?
Belvedere.
Oh yeah. Do the lights come on at night? They follow you around the yard?
They don't come back at night, so
If you ever wondered what happened, Christine was a two-door, but
Yeah.
basically the same thing as that.
the same idea.
Do you know Scott Newstead he's got that Cold War Motors channel on YouTube? He lives not too far.
Oh,
He's out by Sherwood Park.
okay.
He's got a ton of these 57, 58 Plymouths and stuff out there. He's a guy I'll introduce you to at some point. You'll like him.
Yeah.
He's actually fixing up a bumper for my kid right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. My son has turned into a gearhead. I don't know how that happened. Well, I guess I know how that happened. Pontiac, square bodies. And oddly, those would be a quick sale even in that shape over there. Those square body trucks are super popular. The one on the right's a GMC. Yeah, four-wheel drive, that's where it's at.
Yeah. Little 70 Le Mans, it's kind of a good parts car for anybody with a GTO.
Yeah, good
All
glass
that
still.
stuff. Yeah, good glass, windshield's even good.
So where are you finding this stuff? Just people call you up and say, I got an old car I need out of my yard, or?
These ones here, I mean, it's all different ways. This one here I bought at an auction, just a farm auction.
Yeah.
And now all the auctions are online, so it's too easy to buy them.
Oh yeah.
To press your finger and push the button, but a lot of them are word of mouth or, you know, through Kijiji or
Wherever.
in the marketplace. But
Well,
a lot of them you just you get kind of word of mouth, and you go to a farm and they usually have more than one.
yeah, so have you ever been over your head where you've agreed to take too much stuff and been like, oh man, what have I done?
Oh, lots. I do that every day.
I
I go,
bet.
what have I done? But it usually fares out not too bad. Sometimes you got to wait. It's a waiting game to get rid of them.
Didn't get him on camera, but there was a buck, a deer, right in Ivan's yard. Maybe he was trying to fit in the trunk of that car. He heard moose could fit inside of it. We're looking to see if we can find the deer again. There was a deer here just seconds ago. I don't see him now. He's gone. Huh. We've stepped inside to get out of the rain. It started coming down a little bit out there. But look what is I mean, this is just, we were seeking shelter, and look how cool it is in here. Let me flip the camera around and show you what's going on. So this is the workshop, I guess.
Yeah, it's my shop.
And what are you doing on the Chev here?
It's an Oldsmobile.
Oh,
Actually,
it's
a
good,
50
gosh.
57 Oldsmobile. And it's leaking some transmission oil right where the speedometer hooks on. So I got a seal. I just need to change it.
Oh, so nothing major.
No, nothing major. No, it's got a 427 actually in it. Aluminum heads and the 700R overdrive transmission. So
And then you got the Bel Air sitting here.
55 Bel Air. It's got a little 350 in it. And
Two-door hardtop.
little M22 rock crusher with a posi.
And since I was here last, you actually cleaned up the shop quite a bit.
Yeah, probably.
Last time, I think you had a Beaumont in here,
Right.
and I was stepping over stuff, and you had a bunch of stuff all over the place.
Yeah, it was hard to get around here for a while.
But you were saying off camera a minute ago that you have a lot of memorabilia in here, but you had a client come in and just offer to buy everything at one point?
He bought everything. He bought every sign, every oil can. That was not December that just went by, but the December before. So just about a year and a half ago. And he bought every sign, every clock, every oil can I had. And I've accumulated everything else kind of since then. So it's been fun just kind of replenishing everything.
Right, so you had an initial sting of, well, it kind of sucks to see it go, but then you have the fun of going and buying more stuff.
It was kind of weird kind of walking in here and seeing nothing on the walls, but it didn't take long to
no,
up again.
You would never know. And you've got Red Indian motor oil, you got good stuff. Yeah. The Exide batteries, an early orange crush with the crushy, the little guy, that adds to the value. Nice original clocks. That's the top off of, actually, if you had a stand, that is the lollipop sign for the gargoyle. Champion spark plug clock, working away over there. Lots of neat oil cans. This is like, no wonder he offered to buy everything, Ivan. This is like a picker's dream in here. And this isn't even like, you've got buildings and buildings full of stuff. And this is the Coca-Cola stop sign, guys. Yeah, it is. If you ever see one of these things, Coca-Cola used to have these for schools, and they'd put them out, and it would say, obviously slow school zone, but you look down at the base,
you can see the Coke.
and it's got the stamped Coca-Cola base right there. So smart of them, they have something to help save kids at the meantime, advertising Coca-Cola at every single school to children everywhere. Nice porcelain Oldsmobile service sign there. Kind of ironic that you've got an Olds up on the stand right next to your Oldsmobile service. I guess there's truth in advertising. You're working on it. Yeah. But what's your favorite bit of memorabilia in this garage, would you say?
Oh God, that Oldsmobile sign is I've been an Oldsmobile guy for years, so I was pretty proud when I got that sign.
Yeah, it's not, and even with the patina, the wear, it's real, it's original. Yeah. They were reproducing signs for a while, but they didn't do a whole lot of the big ones like that. But you got to be so careful when you're buying stuff nowadays to look for certain things.
I like Beaumont cars, and I was down in Beaumont, Texas, and I bought that little...
Oh, Beaumont Enterprise and Beaumont Journal.
I thought that was kind of cool.
And lots of nice old oil cans. I saw you had a really good one over there. You have a Spitfire can.
Oh, over here, yeah.
Yeah, that Spitfire can in good shape. I think I had one... a bigger one than that in nice condition. I sold for $1,000.
Yeah, they go for quite a bit of money in nice shape for sure.
Yeah, train lanterns, and it's like a little store up here. I mean, gosh, I'd be it'd be hard for me not to try and just pile up and buy a whole bunch of things. But look at all the cool stuff, all the fun toys and motorcycle cans. That looks like an earlier Harley Davidson can, that Prelux. Yeah. And you got the 70s, that's the AMF era, 70s Harley can. White Rose advertising. Did you buy that from me? I had one just like that at one point.
Yeah, over the years I could have.
Yeah. Speedo Lean, that's a cool can with a mic on top. Any of those, see, when people buy a can like that, they're looking for some cool graphic, yeah. And obviously the Native American stuff sells well. The White Rose in our area is popular. You have a fairly rare hood ornament off of a white truck there too. I think that Polar Bear, right?
Yeah, that's a Polar Bear off of Hayes.
Hayes, yeah, sorry, Hayes, not white. Yeah. I had a couple of those, and I think I sold them for like $500 or $600 each.
Quite a bit. I have two of them actually, one in the house and then I have one here.
Yeah, they're like a big logging type truck that Polar Bear came off of, and they're only, I think, made in British Columbia.
There's a pretty neat clock there. I've never seen another one like that.
No, and it's original too. Yeah, gosh, that's a good piece. Does it work? Have you plugged it in?
It does work, yeah.
Yeah, they last forever. You can actually buy all the parts you need for these clocks online if you ever need motors or light bulbs, fixtures and stuff. And the nice thing about this is it doesn't have the telltale burn marks that a lot of times when the lights burn out and it's got two bulbs on either side, somebody put in too high of a wattage and it would actually melt the graphics off on the back and leave these little burnt circle marks where the bulbs were. So somebody did a good thing and they never did that and never burnt it off. It's delaminating a little bit, but really nice original shape. Gosh, you've got some cool stuff kicking around here. I feel like, oh, there's your Easy Rider. Yeah. There's the Spitfire can I was talking about. And sturdy oil cans, but that Spitfire can's very desirable. You got a miner's hat up there too.
Got a miner's hat, yeah. Some old maps. These are all Canadian maps.
Right.
34, and we're pretty old. Red Indian.
Nice little
34.
setup. Some oil cans in the mix there.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, look, you got like a little Ford wagon.
Yeah.
Streamliner kind of wagon. That's
Yeah.
neat. All the fun stuff.
These were, I had a 32 Plymouth Coupe, so I started collecting 32 plates, and I pretty well got them all except for Newfoundland and Yukon. I think are the only two I'm missing.
So if I come across a 32...
I would definitely be interested. They're hard to come by, though.
Oh, you got a hubcap off a Diamond T.
Yeah, I have a Diamond T truck here. I'll show you later. It's a really neat truck.
Diamond T's were heavy duty, very Art Deco, very neat vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it looks like the rain has let up a bit.
Yeah, it has.
And head back out there and have a look.
Have a look at the Diamond T here if you want to have a...
Oh man, there's just so much stuff. I am lost looking at all the things, all the cool stuff you've got. Oh man, okay. Look at that thimble Jerome fuel. See, if you're, for folks watching at home, if you're ever in your grandpa's garage or attic of an old barn, look for this kind of stuff. There are people who buy it. Lots of people who buy this stuff. Yeah, I like how you got like the old barn board on the buildings, and the signs just look right at home. Nice old pump. Did this have a top on it at one point?
You could put it on there,
Yeah, I guess you could. Sometimes they have, like that one has. It's got the light on the top. People like those a little bit more, but it's easy to convert. It actually just has a plate on the top that can come off, and you can... Oh, it looks like it had a...
Yeah, there is a plate.
There is a circular...
Plate. You could put a globe on it.
Yeah, I guess that was probably an option. The gas station would have had to pay extra to put the
probably
top on it. Harley Davidson motorcycles. So you set up a little a faux motorcycle shop?
Yeah, just for photos. A lot of people come here with their bikes, and they'll take a photo in front.
Well, that's the thing, is that every little stop along the way here is such an interesting backdrop. And you've got your general store. Looks like you even stocked it with candy in there too.
If you want to have a look inside here, we can
Okay.
take a quick look inside.
It's just so cool seeing all this stuff all together. Nice old push bar. Oh yeah. It's bittersweet for me coming into like a general store type feeling building, because I was really trying to give this vibe in my shop when I had it, but lots of nice old signs. Is this cardboard?
Cardboard,
Yeah.
It looks like Marilyn Monroe.
She does a little bit, yeah. Yeah, those old Coca-Cola signs are always very cool. This is a light box sign, or just a...
No, it doesn't light up.
It doesn't light up, just a...
Yeah.
Huh. Key cutting machine. I bet some of these keys are probably, especially if they were automotive keys.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are house keys, a lot of them.
I made the mistake of passing on one of these machines once, and it was full of old car keys. And you realize just how hard it is to find blanks for some of those old cars. It would have been worth picking up. I thought, what am I going to do with a key cutting machine? And then you think, oh, right. I'm in the business of buying and selling stuff. Lots of nice old die containers and Ford Apache playset. I've had one of those before. So how do you determine what you're going to buy and what you're going to add? Or do you pretty much just like everything?
Oh, I'm just addicted to everything. If it catches my eye, I buy it and just kind of put it on the shelf, and it's getting to the point where I don't have no more shelf room.
Well, it looks like everything catches your eye.
Yeah, everything that's old, yeah.
Everything that's old. I've got the same problem. But you do sell stuff on occasion.
Oh yeah, I'll sell stuff for sure.
If somebody comes along and makes the right offer. Or...
I'm not saying everything's for sale, but there's certain stuff for sale for sure.
Well, I guess, yeah, like the guy that came in and said, I'll buy everything.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly,
if the number's right, then
That's
heck,
right,
why not?
Exactly, yeah.
Like you said, you can always replace it if you have to.
Yeah.
Nice showcases here too. Tombstone radio.
That's
Yeah.
the original 1933.
And these were so hot in the 80s and 90s that they replicated these and put them out as an AM FM radio.
Oh yeah.
And you
That's
can...
the original, yeah.
Sometimes I would have people come in with one of these and they'd say, oh, it's from the 20s. And you look on the side and have a cassette deck. And you're like, no, it's not as old as you think, unfortunately. Hey, your apples are doing great. They haven't rotted at all.
No. I just picked this up. It's an old kit for Watkins. The guy had collected all these Watkins stuff,
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it's kind of...
It's in its original carry case.
Yeah.
Door-to-door salesman, the original.
Yeah.
You got some nice cap guns in the case here too. You've loaded up your peanut jar with peanuts too.
Yeah, we got some neat old cap guns.
So, and randomly some wrestling figures.
Yeah.
Cool. So you've built yourself a fire hall. Yeah. You built this from scratch?
Built it from scratch, yeah.
And you've got, this isn't an Excalibur. What is this?
It's a 1937 Mercedes Marlene. I bought that for my wife for the first, our first wedding anniversary.
Wow.
But it's a kit car. It's got a 302 Ford motor in it. And
for your first anniversary, you bought her this.
Yeah.
Well, you're making us all look bad. I think we went out and had pizza on my first anniversary, so yeah. you got me beat.
I might have went a little too far.
So what do you do for the second? How do you outdo yourself after that?
I couldn't outdo that.
You set the bar too high.
Yeah. I bought her a little truck this year, a little 52 Chevy truck.
Does she ever drive it? Does she drive this?
She drives it all the time. See, we do photos, like she'll bring this car. Actually, any of our cars, she'll bring, we'll bring them to any location, like for wedding photos. We just did a couple of wedding photos.
Oh, I could definitely see this. It's white.
Couple of weeks, yeah.
Any kind of white classic car, people like the looks of that in a wedding.
She just did a wedding photo shoot down at the big hotel there, downtown Edmonton.
Oh, Hotel McDonald?
Hotel
Yeah.
McDonald, yeah.
And they use this?
We use this car, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is a 29 Chev here. I'll open the other door. You can see it.
Oh, yeah. It looks like it's in really good shape.
We use that for the mobster photos and stuff.
It looks like it's a driver.
Oh yeah, it runs and drives. Yeah, I rebuilt the car about 3 times, but it runs good.
And so if somebody wants to do a photo shoot where they look like a mobster, pinstripe suits, they'll stand next to this?
Yeah, we got all the clothes to dress them up right from 30s, with the old replica machine guns and look like Al Capone type of thing.
Gosh, did you ever see the Bonnie and Clyde car in person?
I never seen it in person.
I saw it at a car show once, and gosh, there was a lot of bullet holes in that thing.
I've seen lots of pictures of it.
They weren't wasting any bullets. Well, actually, or they wasted all their bullets. I mean, that thing was just see-through by the end of it.
Then we have some little cars for the kids.
Oh yeah, little pedal cars.
A little fire engine here, and that's
I see. Yeah.
Rod kinda.
Oh, cute.
This one here's a little fire truck.
Oh yeah. Great family photos,
Yeah, that's good for kids.
That's the thing, and we're so obsessed with the pictures and Instagram and all that stuff now that you're kind of getting into this at the right time, I think.
That's when they went to this grill change.
So this is a 1939 Diamond T, first year of this style. These were heavy-duty truck, but very Art Deco in design. You look at this kind of Airstream sort of grill flowing back. Is it okay if I open the door?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, I always like to ask because you don't want to be like, find out that the door falls off or something. Surprisingly, the dashboard in this thing is in really good condition.
Banjo steering wheel.
Yeah, the banjo steering wheel. Really nice vehicle. So you're thinking maybe future hot rod out of this?
Yeah.
And rare as hen's teeth. These are.
Yeah, they are very hard to find. It's a good shape.
That's a funny little light setup here.
Yeah, I have the other lights for it with the little arrows in it. I have a pair of them for each fender.
So what are they, signal lights?
Signal lights, yeah.
Huh. That's a big, it looks like a coffee can hollowed out on both ends for the signal light. But yeah, you can kind of make out.
They had factory signal lights then, so somebody probably would have added it.
Kind of make out the little bit of the writing on the door there. But yeah, it would have been a work truck for somebody for years. Nice that it's pretty much all there.
Yeah.
And you got your police car here.
57 Chevy police car, yeah.
Was it a police car from new, or did you make it up?
No, somebody had, it came from Oregon, and somebody had did it probably for a movie car or something. But it runs, it's got a little 283 in it.
But it's got the sirens on the roof and the lights. And
everything works on it, so we have all the outfits to dress people up as a police officer.
Right.
The woman or a man, so if you want to get your hot rod and pretend that the police car's stopping you and take some photos kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice that your wife's as into this stuff as you are too.
Yeah.
And so I guess, well, you have a little town set up over here too, from what I recall. So Ivan, I guess the nice thing is that it's not just you in this business, it's also your missus too.
That's right.
Angie. So Ivan is gonna go out and haul cars and old stuff home, and you're I'm gonna make it look cool and take pictures of it.
Right.
So Angie, you're a professional photographer.
That's right.
And you've been using all these wonderful backdrops. We're in front of a little saloon right now. And people will come out here and get their pictures taken, and like, what do they do?
Yeah, it's kind of ironic how it worked out with Ivan collecting all the stuff. It made it easy for me to build on that and build this studio. So we basically specialize in antique photography, theme portraits. So in this part of the studio where it's all West, I can do any Western type photography. So we'll dress you up in any type of Western theme that you want. Or over there we have a 60s theme. So the whole studio is based on era photography from the 60s to the 80s.
And so these would be people maybe wanting cool family pictures or wedding photography or sometimes boudoir pictures.
Yeah, we do it all actually, and it's not just me taking the photos. You can actually rent the studio as a photographer or bring a photographer, so anything goes.
Anything goes. Ivan kind of said, sometimes anything goes, and you just go, okay, they're doing their thing out here. Just
Sometimes,
Yeah.
and we even have had a lot of music videos out here.
Right.
So there's so much creativity that you can do with the themes and what we got going on.
And you're going to send me a few sample pictures, which I'll drop into the video right around here so people get an idea. But I've seen your stuff posted online, and it always looks like they're having so much fun.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to come out here to where you are, you're very close to the city of Edmonton, not far at all.
20
Right,
minutes
20
north.
20
minutes north.
20 minutes, it's worth the drive. And the nice thing is that they can come get their picture taken. If the husband or friends that are with them want, they could go buy an old car off Ivan.
Well, we've just recently incorporated the cars into the studio, so they can, for a little extra fee, they can incorporate a car into a pin-up shoot, and we will provide the car that they can use inside and out.
That's so cool.
And even more recently, we're able to take some of our cars off property. So we have been able to chauffeur a groom or a bride into the wedding chapel or photos afterwards.
Yeah,
outside.
we saw your 1-year anniversary car. I said, Ivan, you've set the bar way too high for all of us
yes.
other guys out there. And they find out that he's buying his wife a fancy car on their first anniversary, and the rest of us are just going out for McDonald's. We're going to get in trouble. But good on you, Ivan. But if they want to check out your website, what is the website they go to see the photography?
It's ivangies.com. I'm the Angie to the Ivan, and to Ivangies is how we came up with the name. So you can find everything there for what I do and the property and the studios.
Okay, so if they want to, if somebody likes the cars, they can reach out and ask about that with Ivan.
Absolutely.
If they're like, you know what, we want to get some pictures taken in the area, they can reach out and talk to you.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we'll send them your way.
Yeah. There's
Awesome,
a section
thanks.
on there for with the car sales, but I don't really update it. But I'm going to start. I don't really update it too much, and I probably should.
Right, because you're probably a guy who people who like this stuff know you, and they probably just call up and ask what you got in the yard.
People, it's just word of mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that it's pretty much like the Russ Brothers TV show without the TV show. You're buying the old stuff, you're finding cool things.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much. It's a beautiful property. The rain let up, thankfully, and it's a lovely day. So thanks for having me out at your property today,
Thanks
guys.
for coming out, Alex.
Mo, my pleasure. It's a fun adventure. Thank you so much to Ivan and Angie for having me out at your property. Make sure to check out their website. If you're in the Edmonton area, you want to get some cool pictures taken, that's a fun place to go. Or if you are looking for a project car, talk to Ivan. He's got a whole pile of them. Guys, thank you for watching today's episode. We'll see y'all soon. And as always, bye.